Welcome, Internet Nomad. Night in the Woods is timely during this post-Halloween video. The game centers around the autumn season. The main character is May. She recently dropped out of college for reasons she isn't ready to discuss. Returning to her hometown, May tries to connect with friends. The whole game centers around the mystery that happens in the woods. I love this game because of a personal connection to the game. In 2016, I dropped out of college due to my deteriorating mental health. I had so many worries about talking to people I knew about it. I wish I could have confronted people like May does in this game. The game's graphics look amazing. It feels like everything is made of paper. This game has such a unique art style. All the animals are human-like, but keep their unique features. My favorite character is Beatrice, or Bee, a crocodile. I like her design very much. They keep the long mouth of a crocodile. I like how they took all these different animals and tried to make them fit a body. The game has light platforming. It is so fun running around the neighborhood and jumping around. There are these dreams which provide more platforming. These dreams have a deeper meaning that is revealed in the end. The story is a nice slow burn. There's hints of something mysterious, but the story really picks up during Halloween. The game has so many little details. Stopping to speak to each character every day and seeing what they'll tell you. I wish I had the time to see everything this game had to offer, but right now, I'm content with my first playthrough. The town is called Possum Springs. May comments about what changed since her childhood. It creates the playable environment that everyone could relate to. May asks if her favorite burger spot is still there. The game is 2D with a straight line structure of the town. This makes travel easy. One thing I didn't like is one character mentioned early in the game that he works at this store. I remember the dialogue, but going to the store didn't trigger the event. The game wanted me to go ask my friend where he worked. I wish this could have been avoided if you remembered that detail. That's a non-issue anyway, but it confused me playing the first time. One moment in the game includes visiting the mall, and May has something to say about each store. I wonder what I'm missing from only seeing B's story. The mall is great because it shows how May responds to change. They even steal something small from one of the shops, and then May gives it back before leaving. It is all about the thrill of stealing, not the reward. Each day you could hang out with one of your friends. In my playthrough, I chose B to see her story. Before and after each day, there's usually an interaction between May and her parents. The mom always tries to get May to talk about what is happening in her life. She really wants to know why she left college. There are these random games included, since May and her friends make a band. I sucked at these each time. May would make the excuse she didn't practice or know the song. This game includes one of my favorite tools of narrative games, that being a journal. May will draw and write in her journal after key events or interacting with objects. Okay, spoilers. Skip now if you just want to play the game. Like I said, the story doesn't really kick off until Halloween, which is more than halfway through the game. There's small hints something is going on. Your childhood friend Casey disappeared, but that's all you get to know in the beginning. During Halloween, you see a person being kidnapped. This causes you and your friend to discover what is really happening with people disappearing. May thinks it's a ghost. You explore the graveyard and archives looking for details about the kidnapper. In the woods, you find a group of cloaked figures. There's the big cave area that is the group's hideout. You discover the hooded people are a cult that sacrifices people who wouldn't be missed to this idol called the Black Goat. The cult allows May and her friends to leave if they promise not to reveal the cult to the town. After an altercation with a member, the elevator in the pit collapses and leaves the cult possibly trapped. The game ends with B, in my case, talking about what happened. May explains why she keeps a journal. A therapist suggested it years ago. May in college becomes disassociated with the world. She mentions how she was playing video games and suddenly the world just became shapes. This led to her using a softball bat to beat a kid 6 years ago. The friends have one more jam session. At the end, May promises to talk about leaving college to her parent. Smartly, the game ends before the conversation happens. This allows the player to digest the story themselves and fill in the gaps May will probably explain that night. I decided to revive the fanfiction element of this channel. I'm going to post songs based on games I reviewed. I have a lot of inspiration for Life is Strange, but I also have ideas for other games like Night in the Woods. Night in the Woods really hit close to home for me. With my own mental health struggles, I relate to May's story. After playing the game, I looked into her condition, and slowly the dreams made sense. I like how May opens up first to her friends. She struggles to communicate with her family. I felt that. Sometimes it's tough explaining your troubles to someone that close to you. I wrote a book on my mental health journey. I will leave a link to it in the description. I hid it from my parents because I wasn't ready to disclose some of my deepest thoughts. One project I'm planning to work on is my own journal. I played so many games where the main character keeps a journal. I want to make my own. It will detail key events in my life. This is going to include pictures and drawings. I will post it on the website I'm creating for my channel. Once the website is finished, I'll be posting the link in my description. Before Night in the Woods release, there were 2 supplemental games. While writing this episode, I played both games. These games were just teasers. I was thinking of making them a separate video, but there wasn't enough material to go over for a dedicated video. The first one, The Longest Night, is a short lore game. May is sitting near a campfire, and Beatrice suggests pointing out constellations. Using audio cues and outlines of constellations, the player creates 13 constellations. There's a dialogue explaining the meaning behind each star pattern. We learned about the characters' star signs, a little bit about the culture of the game. The second one is more interesting. It's called The Lost Constellation. It is a ghost story set in a forest. Very nice game where the player goes around making snowmen who have ghosts in them. The setup is a ghost story from May's day during The Longest Night. I won't spoil the story. One day I might make a new series called Second Playthrough,